What if I told you the number one reason your last relationship failed had nothing to do with them? Look, I know that might sting, but after coaching singles for over a decade, I can tell you this. The most successful daters I work with all have one thing in common. They stopped playing the blame game and started doing something most people avoid like the plague. They looked in the mirror. I'm Rick Sodebeer, and today we're going to talk about the uncomfortable truth that could have a major transformative effect on your dating life after 45. Because while everyone else is pointing fingers, you're about to discover why taking responsibility is your secret weapon to finding extraordinary love. This morning I was standing at my kitchen sink, finishing last night's dishes, when something hit me like a ton of bricks. Over the past few months, I've watched dating commentary explode online. Everyone's pointing fingers, women criticizing women, men criticizing men, and everyone telling the other side what they should be fixing. Most of it comes from 20 and 30-somethings who think they have it all figured out. But here's what nobody wants to admit. That same finger-pointing mentality is alive and well in midlife dating too. And while some of these critiques contain a grain of truth, we're all dancing around the real issue. It takes two to tango. For all the videos, blogs, and podcasts flooding your feed right now, almost nobody is encouraging the one thing that actually works, an honest inward look. So let me ask you something, and I want you to be brutally honest with yourself. When was the last time you asked yourself what you contributed when a relationship ended? If this answer is never or rarely, you have work to do. And listen, this isn't about guilt. This is about taking back your power. Think about it. Every relationship you've ever been in has one common denominator: you. Now, before you click away thinking, I'm being harsh, hear me out. This isn't punishment. This is empowerment. Because if you're part of the pattern, you can be part of the solution. Look, I'm not preaching from some ivory tower here. I've been divorced for over 16 years. I've made my share of mistakes. I've stayed too long in relationships that weren't working. I've ignored my intuition. I've tried to fix potential partners. I've avoided hard conversations because they felt uncomfortable in the moment. It's always easier to see what the other person did wrong. That's human nature. But it's not growth. Growth is asking yourself the hard questions. What choices did I make that didn't serve me? What patterns have I been repeating? What red flags did I ignore because I didn't want to start over? Here's what successful daters understand that struggling daters don't. When you combine authenticity with emotional responsibility, you become absolutely magnetic to the right person. But that requires doing the internal work first. Now, I want to share something that might surprise you. You don't need to be perfectly healed to start dating again. Nobody is fully healed. Nobody is flawless. But you do need to be growing emotionally, spiritually, mentally. And you need a partner who's growing too. Two emotionally aware people who show up honestly, communicate openly, and take responsibility for their part, they can build an extraordinary relationship, even while they're still healing. What doesn't work, and this is where so many midlife relationships fail, is when one person carries all the emotional weight while the other avoids their growth entirely. That's exactly how resentment builds and hearts break. So, here's your opportunity. While you're single right now, this is the ideal time to get emotionally, physically, and spiritually healthy. The strongest relationships happen between two people who've already done enough internal work to show up with clarity and emotional stability. And let me be crystal clear about something. Growth isn't just about healing from the past. It's also about getting absolutely clear on what you actually need. Not what sounds good on paper. Not what Instagram tells you to want. Not what you hope someone will magically become. Too many people date with vague hopes instead of clear requirements. Hope is not a strategy. Compatibility is. This is exactly why I created something that could help you get that clarity. It's called the Must-Have and Deal Breaker Blueprint for Midlife Singles. It's not some cute checklist or generic list of traits. It's a clarity tool built around your values, your experiences, and the specific relationship ingredients that will actually create a fulfilling partnership for you. When you know exactly what you need and what you no longer will tolerate, everything changes. But let's keep going because there's more you need to understand. Every day in dating, you're making choices. Who to see, what behavior to accept, which boundaries to uphold, what conversations to have or avoid, which red flags to acknowledge or rationalize away. How many times has your gut whispered, something's off, but you ignored it because you were lonely, hopeful, or just tired of the dating cycle? Taking responsibility means acknowledging those choices, not with shame, but with clarity. If you chose poorly before, you can choose better next time. But honesty has to come first. Here's what I know after more than a decade of coaching. The best relationships happen by accident. They happen when two emotionally mature people make conscious, aligned choices. This season of your life, right now, is powerful. You have the wisdom of experience. You know what doesn't work. You've learned hard lessons. Now it's time to apply them. So, here's my challenge to you. Stop waiting for someone else to change. Stop hoping things will be different next time without doing anything different yourself. Stop pointing fingers and start looking in the mirror. The relationship you want is waiting for you on the other side of this work. And you can start today by downloading the Must-Have and Deal Breaker Blueprint. It's completely free and it's in the description below. Because you deserve extraordinary love. But first, you have work to do. And that work, it starts right now. I'm Rick Sodebeer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.